Gameranx presents 5 of the best budget gaming phones for 2015. Yo, if you're a baller on a budget but you still want to play all the cool apps and games, these are the phones that can get you there. Starting off with number 5. The Sharp Aquos Crystal is the first Sharp phone to make it to the United States, and it looks really cool. Look, there's no bezel on the screen. This is a 5-inch 720p LED screen, and the inside of the phone is boasting a Snapdragon 400 processor and 1.5 gigs of RAM. It's an Android phone, and it'll run most of the games on the Play Store pretty well for the price. It's also got a good set of speakers on it, and let me emphasize this again, that screen is gorgeous. That borderless display is really cool, and it makes games look awesome. It's also one of the nicer looking phones on this list. It just looks really sharp. Get it? I'm sorry. At number 4, we have the Huawei SnapTo. Huawei? I don't know. Anyway, this phone also has a 5-inch 720p display, this one boasting a 2GHz Snapdragon 400 and a gig of RAM. This phone thankfully has one of the longer battery lives on our list. And it also just feels like a premium quality phone with a faux leather finish on the back of the phone, similar to the newer Samsung Galaxy Notes. That might sound like a bit of a superfluous and meaningless thing, but ultimately if you're getting a phone on a budget, you don't want to feel like you have a budget phone, and this is probably the best phone for that. This is another Android phone that you can get cheap off contract, and if you ever wanted to play that Angry Birds kart racing game, now you finally can. At number 3, we have the 2nd generation Motorola Moto E. This phone is packing a Snapdragon 410 with a gig of RAM and a 5-inch screen that unfortunately is a little bit below 720p. Motorola sometimes has some decent build quality, so this thing can withstand a couple drops on the subway or the bus ride to work. What the Moto E lacks in fancy features and shininess, it makes up for in sheer budget phone goodness. Camera features and the prettiness of the phone are really disappointing, but thankfully the phone can handle most tasks you throw at it, including games. That being said, it does come running Android 5.0, so you can cross your road to your heart's content. At number 2, we have the 2nd generation version of the Moto G. Like most of the other phones on our list, this is running a Snapdragon 400 CPU with a 5-inch 720p display. The Moto G ships running Android KitKat, and the back plate is removable so you can customize it to your heart's content. Put a Master Chief sticker on it or something, I don't know. This phone doesn't really have any crazy bells and whistles, but it's reliable as hell, and it's got great stereo speakers. So now if you ever wanted to hear your Hearthstone game in full stereo sound, now you finally can on an affordable budget. And at number 1 on our list, we have the OnePlus One. While this is the most expensive phone on our list, it's still much cheaper than your average iPhone or Samsung Galaxy phone, and it packs some high-end specs for the price. A Snapdragon 801 CPU with 3GB of RAM, and a 1080p 5-inch LED display. And this thing looks really slick. It'll turn heads and a lot of people will ask you, what phone is that? And you can tell them, oh, it's the OnePlus One. Oh, you've never heard of it? Well, it's really rare and new. But the most important thing is that the CPU-RAM combination can pack a punch and run all your favorite games on Android. And for those of you asking, oh wait, but Jake, you didn't put iPhone on this list, and iPhone has some of the best games on the App Store in the whole mobile market. Well, unfortunately, with the iPhone 5C still being a reliable phone, unfortunately it was a little bit above the price range that we set for this video. That being said, these are some of the best smartphones you can get for playing mobile games on a budget this year. Let us know in the comments if you have any of these phones. We're curious. We want to hear from people like you who have actually tried and tested these things in the field. And of course, if you did learn a thing or two and maybe found a new phone, click the like button because it really helps us out. And subscribing is even better because we do videos like this and other video game stuff all the time. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.